A devastating air disaster has unfolded in the heart of the United States, sending shockwaves through the nation and beyond. A tragic collision occurred between two aircraft just 5 kilometers south of the White House in Washington, D.C. The incident involved a passenger plane operated by PSA Airlines and a U.S. military Sikorsky H-60 helicopter, commonly known as a Black Hawk. The crash took place near the Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport, a location that usually serves as a bustling hub for travelers. The PSA Airlines flight was en route from Wichita, Kansas to Washington, D.C. With 64 people on board, 60 passengers and 4 crew members, the flight was nearing its final destination when disaster struck. The aircraft was cleared for landing and was making its final approach when it lost contact with air traffic control just moments before touchdown. This is where the sequence of events took a tragic turn. As the passenger jet approached Reagan Airport, air traffic controllers were actively managing the airspace.
Did you see that? 472. American 3130, go around, turn left in 250, climb maintain 3000.
Blue Street 5347, go around, climb maintain 3000, flight
3000, heading, go around 3000, Blue Street 53.
Blackjack 3, proceed directly to Glebe, I need you to land. Muscle 7, proceed due westbound, contact Dulles Tower 120.1. Muscle 13, can you go to Baltimore?
They had given the flight permission to land on runway 33, which is aligned with the Potomac River. However, just before the plane could safely land, air traffic control issued an urgent alert regarding the Black Hawk helicopter, which was conducting a nighttime drill in the vicinity. The helicopter was identified by its call sign, PAT 25, and was instructed to maneuver behind the approaching PSA flight to avoid any potential conflict. Despite these precautions, something went horribly wrong. As shown on radar screens at the air traffic control tower, both aircraft were on converging paths. The passenger plane had been designated with the call sign CRJ7 and was making its turn onto runway 33 when unexpectedly, the Black Hawk helicopter turned in the same direction. This critical miscalculation led to a mid-air collision that resulted in an explosion and both aircraft plunging into the icy waters of the Potomac River. Emergency services were alerted immediately after the incident. At 8:48 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, officials received notification from the FAA tower regarding an aircraft incident involving both a commercial jet and a military helicopter. Responding units quickly mobilized 3 boats and called for mutual aid resources to assist in search and rescue operations. Helicopters equipped with searchlights were deployed to scan the area from above, while divers braved the frigid waters below. The conditions were particularly challenging for rescue teams. The Potomac River has been oscillating between ice-cold temperatures and frozen solid conditions for days leading up to this disaster. This posed significant risks for divers attempting to locate survivors or recover bodies from the wreckage. Tragically, given the extreme cold of the water, near freezing, rescue teams faced an uphill battle as hopes for finding survivors dwindled rapidly. Among those on board the PSA flight were 2 prominent Russian figure skaters, Aya Shishova and Vadim Naumov. The couple had achieved fame after winning the World Figure Skating Championship in 1994 and were reportedly traveling with other Russian citizens at the time of their untimely deaths. The Kremlin has confirmed their passing, expressing condolences to their families and loved ones during this difficult time.
The crash has prompted a major emergency response. The White House said that President Donald Trump has been made aware of the situation. The Federal Aviation Authority ordered the grounding of all planes at the Reagan Airport. Washington police said on X that multiple agencies were responding to the crash site in the Potomac. This plane was an American Airlines Flight 5342, which departed from Wichita, Kansas. These are the live visuals that we're getting from the crash site in the Reagan National Airport in Washington, D.C.
As news of this tragic event spread, it became clear that there were no immediate plans for high-level diplomatic contacts between Russia and the United States regarding this incident. However, officials have confirmed that approximately 30 bodies have been recovered so far from the Potomac River. Search operations are ongoing as emergency services continue to look for additional victims and crucial evidence from the crash site. One of the key focuses of investigators will be locating the black boxes from both aircraft, devices that record critical flight data and cockpit conversations leading up to an incident. These recordings will be invaluable in piecing together what went wrong during those final moments before the collision. In light of this tragedy, President Donald Trump has called for answers regarding how such a catastrophic event could occur in one of America's busiest airspaces.
Yes, these are the moments just before an Army helicopter collided with an American Airlines. The passenger plane finishing a 2-hour flight from Kansas, on board 60 people, including figure skaters returning from a competition. And here,
so we're all on the same frequency, if you like. The controller could speak to either of them, and they should have been able to hear.
American 3130, go around, turn left bend 250, climb maintain 3000.
That collision has happened at around 9:15. Small jet and that helicopter are believed to be within that Potomac River, where crews are now searching, showing the vision of the scene at the moment.
Yeah, Miley, this is a busy airport, Washington's Ronald Reagan.
He expressed his disbelief that this collision could have happened despite existing protocols designed to prevent such incidents. As investigations continue, officials will be scrutinizing air traffic control communications and procedures to determine if any lapses occurred that contributed to this disaster. The implications of this incident are far-reaching, not only for those directly affected, but also for aviation safety standards across the country. With heightened scrutiny on air traffic management systems and military operations within civilian airspace, it is crucial that lessons are learned from this tragedy to prevent future occurrences. As we continue to follow this developing story, our thoughts remain with those who lost their lives in this horrific accident and their families who are left grappling with unimaginable grief. In times like these, it is essential that we come together as a community to support one another and honor those who have been lost. This deadly air disaster serves as a stark reminder of how quickly life can change and how important safety measures are in aviation. As investigations proceed, and more information becomes available, we will keep you updated on any new developments regarding this tragic event. Thank you for joining us today as we reflect on this heartbreaking situation in Washington, D.C.
President Trump about to address the nation from the White House, requesting for a moment of silence after the deadly mid-air collision here in our nation's capital.
Just before 9 p.m. last night, an American Airlines regional jet carrying 60 passengers and 4 crew, leveraging every asset at our disposal, and I have to say the local, state, federal, military.
Into the Potomac River. Let's go live to Miley Hogan in our US Bureau. Miley, this is an unfolding situation. What details have you got for us?
That collision has happened at around 9:15, 9:30 local time.